Hey friends, Audrey Henley here, and today I'm doing a writing wrap-up for the end of November, so stay tuned. Hey friends, it is Saturday, November 23rd, and I wanted to do a little check-in here for a future vlog that I'm going to do. And I just wanted to give you some thoughts and feelings about how my revision process has been going. My goal was to edit a chapter a day of my 32 chapter novel. Obviously the math doesn't work, but I would, throw in an extra one at some point. And how is that going? About halfway through the month, I was having some very serious mental health things, and I'm gonna be honest, a lot of it was about my day job. Working in publishing is super stressful. It doesn't pay well. I needed some time to kind of work through some things, and so I did, because that's what I do. This is how I don't have breakdowns ever. This is how I keep going through life. I just stop when I need to stop, so I did. And when I got back a few days after, I got stuck on my midpoint, and I decided that my midpoint was wrong. I don't know if it's wrong. I can't decide. The midpoint I have right now is very much, it's like on an emotional beat. But there is like an action beat that right now I have at the right before the darkest moment, whatever that is. That would make a really kick-ass midpoint as well, from an action sense, right? It's essentially revealing the villain. And I reveal the villain before the darkest moment, but I was second guessing that decision and wondering if it should really be the midpoint. But I do have a midpoint, but it's on a more emotional part of the story. It's an emotional beat, essentially. And so I was kind of having like a bit of a crisis, like trying to decide whether to keep my current midpoint or to make it the villain reveal. And to add things on top of it, I had actually switched this around before. Originally, the villain reveal was my midpoint, and then I was like, no, this isn't working, and then I moved it there, and so I'm second guessing a change I already made, and going through edits, I couldn't decide which I wanted, and so to edit, I had to I guess make changes, because I had moved the chapter around, but I hadn't done all of the ripple effects, there were sentences and conversations that didn't make sense because this thing hadn't happened yet, right? And so because I was so indecisive about it, I didn't actually want to make those edits, because what if I have to flip-flop it back again? Being a planner is a time. And I was like, okay, Audrey, you can just skip the midpoint and write the next chapter, or edit the next chapter. But I, still having the same issues. And so what I started doing was my old style of revision, which is just read through everything super fast and make big blanket changes all at once. Rather than going chapter by chapter. I'd actually really liked going chapter by chapter for my earlier chapters, because I actually added in the transitions I needed to make the chapter make sense. I'm really bad at those. Going from one scene to a next, I would just have a little asterisk. It's like, come on, write a transition to get us there. Come on. It's like pulling teeth with me. And so going chapter by chapter, making every chapter as good as it could be, was helping me to not do that and to not leave messy transitions everywhere. And it was helping me get my word count up, because I was adding in the pretty language. So I got up to 59,000, and then I needed to cut a scene due to the midpoint move, and that got me back down to 58,000. And I was like, dear God, how am I gonna make up this word loss? And so your girl was stuck. Honestly, I'm not sure how the rest of my editing is going to go. I'm definitely not really doing the sticker chart anymore, at least for now. It's sort of just I'm gonna try to get this story as making sense as possible for my critique partners in December when I'm trading manuscripts with them. So I'm just trying to clean it up and get it ready for that. But I kind of just want someone to read it now, because I'm sick of revising and sick of I don't know how to fix it. And so I'm just really hoping for a critique partner to come save me and tell me how to fix it, which is probably a shitty thing to think, but it's worked in the past. The power of critique partners, right? Hopefully I can be that for someone else too. That's the nice thing about critique partners, is it's an equal exchange. That's all I got for right now. This is a very short update, but see you at the end of the month. Bye. First of all, hello and welcome. I'm giving a special welcome to everyone who participated in NaNoWriMo. I've been seeing a lot of videos about burnout and about stress, And so I just want to say, no matter how NaNo went for you, I think you're doing great. And if you got any words at all, or if you got any thoughts, or if you got yourself in a better place, it all counts. You're wonderful, so please take care of yourself, hydrate, eat food once in a while. I believe in you, and I'm proud of you for doing whatever you did. Yeah, I just wanted to put that out there, and I think I'll talk about this more at the end of the video. This really is a wrap-up video of my November, which did not involve NaNo, but boost your spirits if I can at all, because I know it's been a really stressful month for a lot of you. Sending love and warm thoughts your way. So if you'll remember, I made this little chart that was going to be like revising a chapter a day basically, and trying to revise my entire novel before the end of November to give to critique partners. And here is how it ended up looking. As you can see, I did not finish what happened. The weird thing with this book is there's so many high concept ideas, like there's, you know, ghosts, there's a vampire, there's the end of the world, and so I was really expecting my main beats to be on action points, like, you know, an explosion or something big. But they're not. They're on character beats, which I think is just a reflection of what I care about most in a story, which is the character. It was just hard to reconcile that in my brain. So I kind of got stuck for a while in mid-November. So I was happily revising until the midpoint, and then I was stuck. I ended up being okay with my current midpoint. You know, I was like, this is how it is, it's fine. I actually talked to a critique partner, and she told me, like, I am a more character-driven writer, and so it makes sense, even with a high concept, you know, plot, to have the most important beats in the story be emotional, interior beats. So I ended up reconciling myself with that. Once I moved past and I started revising the rest, I kind of went through and did piecemeal edits, but I didn't really read through and get everything perfect the way I had with the last few chapters. I was having very few days left in November, and I had promised people my story by December 1st, so I really kind of sped through edits, but I added a bunch of new scenes. So I don't know if you all remember, but I was hovering around 60,000 for a very long time. Probably like since when I started this channel. Been a long time. It's been a long time coming. I have been valiantly trying to get to 60,000 words, and I did it! The star, I drew little sparklies because I was so excited. And I actually got to 62,000, and I have more ideas for scenes to add. What happened was I did the Save the Cat beat sheet, which I'll show you what I did in a moment. Here is this little board I made with the materials that I got from the NaNoWriMo gift exchange. I got these from the lovely Ginger Reads Laney, and so she gave me the little thumbtacks and the board and the note cards. I made this, and so basically what it is a visual representation of Save the Cat. Save the Cat writes a novel. And so this is a visualizer, and I really needed this because I was confused. So the big thing to notice here, and I divided this, so this is Act 1, this is Act 2A, this is Act 2B, and this is Act 3. And so they're not even. So as you'll see, setup is 1 to 10%, fun and games is 20 to 50, so that's 30%. So this is 20, 30, this one is 30 as well when you add these two together, and then 20 again. And so the thing I did was I always assumed that like fun and games was like one beat. Like I was like, oh, it's just another note card. But actually, fun and games encompasses the B story and goes all the way to the midpoint, which are small beats, they're one scene beats, whereas fun and games is 30% of your novel, and it's just describing like Act 2A essentially. And then Act 2B has Bad Guys Close In, and then you have an All Is Lost, and then it's the Dark Night of the Soul, so it's broken up a little bit, and then you just have the finale. Another thing I found really helpful was I researched the 5-point finale. So it's gathering the team, executing the plan, high tower surprise, which is really fun, so I'll explain that in a second. And then dig deep down, like find your inner strength, and then execution of the final plan. High tower surprise is essentially what I thought of was in Avatar: The Last Airbender, where they have the the darkest day or whatever. They go to the capital and try to find the Fire Lord, and then Azula's there instead. So it's like a surprise near the end that kind of throws all their plans off. So yeah, this visualizer helped me a lot, and it's not anything like crazy, but yeah. Essentially what I realized was that the second half of my book was way too short. My beginning and my fun and games beat, surprisingly, were completely fleshed out. Like, I had all the things I needed, but like everything after my midpoint was too rushed, and there were some more emotional beats I could hit. I wasn't putting enough like turbulence for my character before getting to the end. So those are the scenes I added, and I wrote a scene that made me stay up. Like, I was just about to go to bed, I was sleeping, and then I had an idea and I had to get up and write it. I don't get that a lot, so when I do, I'm like, okay, that's a good scene. And I cried twice with this scene. It's near the end and it's really emotional, and again, it has to do with character arc rather than like big plot things. It's very exciting. I love the romance in my book. I'm excited to share it with the world. I edited the best I could. I added a bunch of words. I figured out where I'm missing scenes, and I sent my story to a couple of critique partners, and I'm super excited to get their feedback. Yay! Overall, very good November for me. I was very surprised to get some more ideas for scenes and get up to 62,000 words, and it just 62 seems a lot closer to 70 to me than 59 did. And a big reason I think that this happened was I had the extended break, because here in the US, well, a lot of people get Thanksgiving off. My work happened to give us that Friday off as well, and so I had a long weekend and I could just be creative. I had time to relax, but I also had a lot of time to work, and I actually like worked more than I played, if that makes sense. I spent a smaller percentage of time relaxing than I do most weekends. I just had the space to breathe, and that really helped me be creative and productive. I don't know what that says about our society. I really enjoyed the time off. So that has been my November, and I just wanted to share with you how not doing NaNo and focusing on just where I was at in this story. It worked for me this month. I'm really happy with where I got, and it worked for me. I guess I just want to be like a voice out there to say you don't have to do NaNo. Everyone on the authortube community is very pro NaNo, and I'm just going to tell you that it's not the only thing to do. You don't have to do NaNo to be a novelist, and you don't have to write that fast to be a novelist. You can take it slow. Yeah, I just wanted to say that because so many people seemed so stressed this month, and it honestly stressed me out. I'm an empath, so like I kind of suck into other people's energies. I was really feeling for you all out there, and I really just want to say, if it feels like NaNo isn't for you, that is a-okay. And I'm gonna be drowned out by people who say NaNo is the way to go, but you know, whatever. I'm just one voice out there, and my opinion is that you don't have to do NaNo, but you certainly can, and I think it is really helpful for a lot of people. So it's really just all about you and what you need. Let me know in the comments below, did you do NaNo? Did you do other things? How did it go for you? How was your November? Yeah, I'd just love to hear more of your thoughts. Please like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little bell thing. See you guys next week. Bye!